First, let's talk about clean builds. So we have extended this art compiler with a new flag, --clean, remove target folder before building. So that is the same thing as you previously could do only from the UI. So you could right click on a TC and do clean. That is what we mean by a clean build. So now you can do the same thing from the command line. So if you add the --clean argument before the --tc, and let's do a clean build of this tc. And yeah, it goes quickly, so it's hard to see that it deletes it, but we can scroll up here and see that it actually prints these messages when it cleans the target folder. And if you, for example, happen to have the executable running or some other process is blocking something in that target folder so that it cannot be deleted, then there will also be a message coming here and the build will stop, which is useful because otherwise it would anyway fail during linking phase when it cannot link the executable since it's already running. So that is the clean build feature. Any questions about that? Then I'm going to talk about something called Art Tutorial. So you see I have installed an extension here called Art Tutorial, and that is available in the same place as Code RealTime. So you just type Art Tutorial up here, and then you can install it from the marketplaces. So what this tutorial gives you is a command that you can use for opening exercises. It's called Art Tutorial Exercises. And this idea was inspired by a project called Rustlings, which is a tutorial for learning the Rust language. So we have done it in a similar way here for learning the art language. And it's not only for learning the art language, but also for learning Code RealTime. So the idea is that by solving exercises, you will gradually learn both about art and about Code RealTime in an hopefully fun and interactive way. So let's try it, how it works. So first we will invoke this Art Tutorial Exercises command from the palette. And that will open the file dialog where you need to specify where exercises are located. And on GitHub, we have a project called Code RealTime Art Exercises that you can clone, and then you get 10 exercises. Those are the number of exercises we have so far. So if you open them, you will see them in this view. And here are some general instructions on how it works. So basically, these samples are incomplete, and your goal is to complete them so that they are possible to build and run according to what is expected. So if we take, for example, this Hello World timer as one of the first samples here, most easy ones, because the idea is that you start from the top and go down, and the top exercises here are quite simple, but as you come down, they are slightly more advanced. So what you first get here is the transformation configuration. And if we then just check what we should do here, it says complete the application, so it prints the message hello world to stand out after a delay of 1 second. Then there is a little bit of introduction with some links to documentation. So for example, if I don't know what the timer is, I can click here, and then it will take you to the documentation where you can read more about what is a timer and how can I use them. And once you're ready with the theory behind the exercise, you can start on the steps. And here the first step is to open the top capsule. So you can do that by control clicking here on this hyperlink in the TC. But if you have no experience with the tool, you may not know that. And then you can also do it by clicking here in the exercise. So here is the skeleton sample that currently is incomplete and doesn't work. So if I now would just do nothing and I will try to do run here, it will build my sample. It actually builds, so it was not that broken. But now it tests if it works correctly. And then it will tell you that it didn't work. It was automatically terminated after 5 seconds, and you didn't get the success printout, which was no surprise because I didn't do anything yet. So then I'm looking at step number 3 here. Locate the initial transition and write code that will set the timer. So the initial transition is here. So let's add the code to set the timer. and I do that. If I can read about how to do it, well, first I have to maybe to create, I forgot step 2. I have to create my timer port first. So let's do that. Let's call it timer and let it be typed by the predefined timing protocol. And it should be a behavior port like this. And now I can go down here and set the timer. By the way, you see GitHub Copilot tries to guess what I should do, but I don't want to do that. I want to type timer.inform in. And then should set it to 1 second. Like this. That was the third step. Then fourth step, add a transition that takes the state machine from state 1 to state 2. Then I can add a transition, a trigger transition from S1 to S2 on timer, and it only has one event called timeout. And I don't actually need to have any code for that transition. It's enough to just take it to S2. Yep, and then we're down to step 5. So here it says I should make my TCS active. It's always good to have a TCS active when you're working on it, because then code gets generated in the background automatically, and you benefit from all features that the C++ code supporting in Visual Code gives you. But I've already did it. Sorry, that was not the right example here. Hello world timer, I've already made it active, so I should already have code generated for this state machine. To try it, I can put my cursor here and hover, and you see I have open C++. I can jump to it, and that opens the C++ code of that transition. And now the tutorial tells you how this how that you can modify a code snippet either down here in the generated code. So let's do it here. And when you save, it automatically synchronizes the change back up to the art file. Or of course, you can change it up here if you want, and it will automatically propagate it down to the generated code. And yeah, then basically we have done everything in this exercise, and we can try to run it again. And if we did everything correct, now we should see that this exercise passes. But it did not, so I did some mistake here. Okay, maybe it should be hello world. Okay, I'm not able to see now why it wouldn't pass. So we can check. Then we can check the solution. If we're not able to figure out why it doesn't work, we can check this solution here. Looks pretty much the same to me. I don't notice any immediate differences here. The solution is typically a little bit more verbose, like checking for errors and things like that. Some best practice. You can also click this button here if you you don't want to view the solution, but you want to get a hint, to get some more details on how it should work. And then you get that information here. And when you're done with the exercise, or maybe you don't want to work with it anymore, just mark it complete, and then it's marked as green here, and you can continue with the next exercise here, down here. So that's basically how this works. So if you want to learn Code RealTime and the Art language, you can work through these 10 exercises. They're not that hard. I think it will take you a couple of hours, maybe. Any questions on the Art tutorial? Okay, then I will stop sharing.